It's about 6 p.m. on Saturday, September 20th, and there is some breaking news out about the border czar, Tom Homan. The devout Catholic who is in charge of rounding up Catholic immigrants in this country, including some on Catholic church property, and sending them to concentration camps and deporting them to God knows where. Yeah, there's breaking news about him. And, a bribery investigation. I'm sorry I didn't get to report on this earlier. Today I was at the farmer's market with my kids. But when I heard about it, I was like, oh, yeah, that tracks. So many people in Trump's regime are folks who, if Kamala Harris had been elected, they would be facing criminal charges. Like Elon Musk, like Donald Trump himself. So many of the folks in Trump's regime would be sitting in a prison cell, waiting prosecution, or maybe having already been convicted. So again, on some level, I am 0% surprised. MSNBC has this breaking story that White House border czar Tom Homan was investigated by federal law enforcement last year in 2024 when Joe Biden was president and allegedly accepted $50,000 in cash from FBI agents who were posing as business executives seeking government contracts. Remember how I said that everything in the Trump regime is a grift? This is all a whole bunch of grifters hoping to get real rich, getting all kinds of sweet, sweet government contracts, using our taxpayer money to enrich themselves. It's all about corruption. This regime is all about corruption. I know that Elon Musk and Donald Trump told Republican voters, told those independent voters who were frustrated with Democratic corporate elites. He told them, the regime told them, Elon Musk told them, hey, we're going to end waste, fraud, and abuse. We're going to drain the swamp. We're going to make sure that we have a government that is functional and isn't ripping off American taxpayers. Y'all, every accusation from a narcissist is a confession. Everything they accuse Democrats of doing, that's a confession. Who's grifting? Who's ripping off the American taxpayer? Who's corrupt? If you want to hear all about Kristi Noem and her corruption, please go follow Miranda. That is quite a rabbit hole, but there are so many members of this regime who were being investigated, were likely going to face charges if Donald Trump had not gotten into office. And now they are all just enriching themselves continually. They're giving their buddies all those sweet, sweet government contracts. We see corporations coming to the regime like Disney, ABC, and saying, hey, how can we use this corrupt regime to advance our corporate goals, make our shareholders happy, get big fat bonuses for our CEOs. Donald Trump said that he was going to end waste, fraud, and abuse. But all his regime is doing is fucking over the American taxpayer. It is a regime rife with corruption. Okay, sorry, not sorry for that rant. So none of this surprises me that Tom Homan allegedly took $50,000 in cash as a bribe from FBI agents posing as business executives. Because this is the kind of shit that is now status quo in the regime, because the Department of Justice is no longer functional. Corruption is the name of the game, right? This is something that I think is so important for Democrats to take up. This is why I'm so opposed to dark money. This is why I'm so opposed to billionaires funding Democrats, why I'm so opposed to foreign money being funneled to Democrats, why I'm so opposed to Democrats owning single stocks. The Republicans, as part of their every accusation is a confession, have framed corporate Democrats as the party that supports elites, as the party that is corrupt, as the party that is grifting. Now, to be fair, corporate Democrats, they absolutely are. I was referencing a More Perfect Union video from a couple of days ago where they interview West Virginia, coal mining communities, and they talk to them about why it is that they voted Democratic for so many years, right? Hardcore union coal miner, deeply blue voters all went for Donald Trump. And they were saying, well, it's because Clinton Democrats, it's because corporate Democrats prioritized big business, prioritized foreign interest over working class people, over blue collar folks. They abandoned the working class to prioritize corporate interest. And that's all fucking true. That's totally true. If Democrats want to reclaim the working class, they have to be a party for the working class. They have to be a party that says, you know what? We are the anti-corruption party. Look at what the Republicans are doing. Tom Homan allegedly took $50,000 in cash, and Donald Trump, right, the FBI knew that this investigation happened, and Donald Trump put Tom Homan in charge of the border, gave him an incredibly powerful job in the federal government, knowing all of this about him. If Democrats have any hope of recapturing working class voters, they have to establish themselves as an anti-corruption party, because the contrast is The Republicans are a party that is rife with corruption. They are a party that is all about the grift, that is all about corruption. There has to be a contrast. I got raked over the fucking coals for talking about that several weeks ago. It's so important. It's a winning move for Democrats to say, hey, we're going to boot out anybody who is prioritizing AIPAC, who's prioritizing foreign interest, who's prioritizing dark money from billionaires. If we want to present ourselves as a viable alternative, as the opposite of the fascist, corrupt Republican Party, we have to actually be the opposite. We can't actually be corrupt. We can't be hypocrites. We have to be an anti-corruption party, and we have to mean it. And to be fair, progressive Democrats absolutely are taking up that banner and have been for a long time. Representative Ro Khanna said something earlier today, I think. My Congresswoman Maxine Dexter has said that we need to get dark money out of our politics. We need to overturn Citizens United. But we still see the establishment leadership, right? We saw, what's his name? Ken Martin from the DNC, right after he got picked. And I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be good because Nancy Pelosi opposed him. But then he was like, we need to find the good billionaires. And I was like, oh, shit, it's more of the same. We see Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer prioritizing AIPAC. We see corporate Democrats not being able to distinguish themselves from shit like this, from Tom Homan supposedly taking $50,000 in cash for a bribe from folks posing as corporate executives. Now, today we had Kash Patel say this matter originated under the previous administration and was subjected to a full review by FBI agents and Justice Department prosecutors. And then they were basically like, there's no credible evidence of any wrongdoing. Was it not earlier today that Donald Trump said he wanted Pam Bondi to charge Letitia James, even though prosecutors found no evidence? Like, we can't trust a goddamn thing that comes out of this FBI or this Department of Justice. I'm sorry that I swore. I realized I told one of my followers a while ago that I would try not to say GD, and I apologize. I'll do better going forward. All right, so even though the Trump regime is saying, no, none of this is true, okay, don't trust like that, right? But I just think that this is such an important point for Democrats. Like, it is a winning move to make Democrats the party of rooting out corruption and getting justice for the American people. It was a compelling narrative, a false narrative, a lie that the Trump regime told working class Americans, that he was going to drain the swamp, that he was going to end waste, fraud, and abuse. Because let's be real, the working class has been abandoned. Our government, since Citizens United, but even really before, since Ronald Reagan, has been a government that prioritizes the billionaires over the working class. And our quality of life gets worse and worse every year. Food insecurity has been growing for years. We struggle harder. We are less secure than our parents were. While the wealth gap is ever increasing, while billionaires are getting richer and richer and richer, and they're siphoning off all of the wealth of America, and they're keeping it up here. Trickle-down economics is a fucking lie. It's a lie. But Donald Trump was like, I'm going to end the waste, fraud, and abuse. I'm going to help the working class. That also was a lie. But Democrats have a chance to boot a bunch of folks to the curb who absolutely are in the pocket of corporations, of billionaires, of foreign governments, and to establish themselves as an anti-corruption party. What a startling contrast. First of all, it's a good, just, moral position for the Democrats to take, for them to clean house in that manner. I don't know that they're going to do it, but there is so much grift and corruption and cronyism and a denial of justice from the Trump regime that it would be easy to make a stark contrast and to create a winning position, especially considering how deeply unpopular Trump is already. Will they do it? Do you think Democrats will do it? 0% surprised that Tom Homan allegedly did this. 0% surprised that Kash Patel's FBI closed the case. And I'm forever an optimist, so I would be pleasantly surprised if Democrats decided that they actually would become an anti-corruption party. What a difference that would make for the American people. What a huge step in trying to recover our democracy and make America a country of, by, and for the people instead of for billionaires and corporations.